or home stop by or do
Everybody, we're going to wait for just a second.
Well, I was with the...
Okay, I had to start. I'm going to wait because it's 4:02 and I need to be on time.
Okay.
So
right.
it's okay.
Right.
Hi, everybody. I'm just going to, sorry. Bye, guys.
Later.
You guys can go in the living room. Sorry, we have friends stop by. Hey, Brenda. I don't like to be late, so I'm just going to give it a few minutes and let people jump on here. I'm super excited. We had some friends from church stop by real fast, and they were saying goodbye. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Christy Lynn. Okay, sorry. How's everybody today? I'm so excited to do the virtual class. I'm going to show everybody what it looks like real fast. So this is the sample that I made right here. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Renee. I'm just going to I'm going to give it a few minutes so that I can get some people, so make sure that everybody's on that wants to watch this live. Sorry, I'm cleaning my glasses. It never fails. You get friends come by right when, and I love having people visit us on Sundays, but I just, I'm glad my alarm went off and said, oh, it's time for class. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Elaine. Yay. Oh, thank you. This is my favorite dress ever, Jenny. I love this. Hold on for just 1 second. Mm-hmm. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so I'm going to give it 2 more minutes for people to jump on. Hey, Lennis. Hi, Jules. How's everybody's Sunday going? Hi, Celia. Hi, Lori. Hi, Leanne. So excited. Hi, Pam. It's early for you. I'm so excited. I'm trying to see all my comments. So we're just going to give it 2 more minutes. Oh, it's been a beautiful day, covered in snow, power still out. Oh, Jenny, darn it. You're being a lounge lizard? What does that mean? Where are you at a lounge watching this? Hi, Debbie. How are you? We went to church today, and then my husband's making dinner while I was doing my class. Yay! And I was almost finished with next month's, Lazy on the Couch. That's funny. I'm going to do another virtual class, but our friends showed up and I was almost done because I wanted to show you before I got off today. Corey. It's okay. Corey said sorry. Anyway, I was going to show you the class that I have planned for next month, and darn it, our friends showed up, so I just didn't get to finish it. I'm almost done. So I will post next month's virtual class. Hi, Tracy. I will post that in a new event. So just letting you know. All right. It's been 2 minutes. We're going to get started. Okay. So I'm just going to put this right here, right behind me. And I hope you can see it. Can you see that? Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll just kind of stick it down here. Where am I going to put this? Maybe right there so that we can see it. Maybe. All right. You can see that, right? All right, we can see that. All right. Hi there, Lynn. How are you? Thanks for joining us. All right, so I have all my, I know you can't see in front of me, but I have all of my supplies kind of out and ready. And it always helps me to have everything that I need right at my fingertips when I'm doing a project like this. The first thing that I asked everybody to do was to do the Mod Podging first, like last night. So that, and this is just a piece of just random board that I had. It was, just, you could use anything really, whatever wood you had. And I Mod Podged the paper. And again, this is just different paper. I wanted it different. So I had the map paper on this one. And I found this fun shiplap looking paper from the store. And you can see there's little ripples, but it's okay. It's totally fine. And then I Mod Podged and tried to get it as smooth as I possibly can. So this is where we are. I also asked that you guys stain or paint the furring strip. My husband calls them furring strips, the little 1x2s. And shh, sorry, my boys are home from college this weekend. I didn't realize it was going to be a holiday weekend. Hi, sorry. And so I used stain and I let it sit overnight to dry. If you guys have, or ladies have any questions as I'm going, just let me know and I can answer any questions. Okay, stop. Gosh, stop snapping. Sorry, he's popping his gum.
And stay tuned for later because there's going to be a special surprise, okay? Later on tonight, just stay tuned. Don't say
He thinks he's gonna take over my Facebook page. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is I have my sandpaper. Oh, thank you so much, Tracy. You're so sweet. Hi, Mia. Right, Debbie? Because I'm telling you, I really thought that it was, it's a Sunday afternoon. It's gonna be so quiet in here.
It's the Matthews family.
I know. Our house is, I love that our house is so bustling with noise. It just means that my kids are home, and I miss my kids when they're gone, but it's just, I should have remembered that they were coming home. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sandpaper, and I'm trying to use as basic of stuff as I possibly can. If you have a palm sander, you could do this too. Totally up to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm just taking, because a lot of people just have sandpaper hanging around. And what I'm going to do is I've decided that this is the top and bottom of my project. These are the sides, just because this is how the paper is running. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to do the two sides, and I'm going to rough it up with sandpaper a little bit. And I like to get it so that it kind of vintages up a little bit, roughs it up just a little bit. Flip it around, do the same thing. I don't have to worry about the top and bottom, just for the simple fact that we're going to glue and adhere the furring strips to the top and bottom. So you don't have to worry about sanding the top and bottom. Okay, and I have my little rag. This is just a rag that I have, and I want to make sure that all of the dust, the sawdust or sand dust or whatever it is off of my area. And I want to make sure that I dust this off. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is I just have a plate that I'm going to put, hi Sarah Jean. Oh my gosh, hi Jolie, how are you? Jenny, if I don't know if you just heard Corey, but he and his girlfriend think they're going to take over my Facebook page later. So we'll see how that goes. So, there's different ways you can do this. You can use ink. I just happen to have paint. I'm one for just using what I have, and you don't need a ton of specialty products. You don't need to go out and buy a bunch of stuff, but I like to make it look a little weathered or vintaged up a little bit by using brown and black paint. This is just a sponge. This is just like a kitchen sponge that I just cut up, and you can use a makeup sponge. You can use whatever you want, but this is how I do it. And again, you can use ink if you have ink. I'm just going to dab a little bit of the brown, and then I'm going to start with the black. And I'm just going to, I didn't have a little tiny thing of black, so I just kind of dipped in. And now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of pouncing it because I don't want it to be too dark. I did make my sponge a little damp, so it does, it spreads the paint a little thinner. There we go, set that aside. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, now I've kind of pounced that black off as much as I can, and now I'm going to take it on the edge, on the two side edges, and I'm just going to kind of swipe it, a nice light hand, and just swipe it. Can you see what I'm doing? Just swipe it along the edges. Just like that. See that? And then I'll flip it around. And switch the direction if you want. And again, we don't have to worry about the top and bottom. You can do as much or a lot, a little, however you want. And I like to kind of switch the direction of the swiping up and down. So now I'm going to flip this around and use the brown, do the exact same thing. Kind of dab it in the brown paint, just like that. And then I'm going to dab it off. And then do the same thing. And just come back. And again, lightly. You don't have to press too hard. Just nice and light along the sides. Flip it around and do the exact same thing. If you need more, just dab it in and do a little more. There we go. So you can see it. It gives it a, I just like the look of that. Pretty cool. All right. Now make sure that when you're doing these things that you are doing it, you're going to make sure that you're attaching the furring strips with the paper the right side up. So, all right. You can use whatever kind of glue that you have. I tend to use hot glue or like a super glue just to kind of attach it, because when I'm done, and I can't show you this because I couldn't bring my husband's air gun in. I really want one of those cordless ones that you don't need the air machine. It's all like it's like a battery operated. That's on my Christmas or my birthday list for this year. But you can use small nails and a hammer if you had to. So once this is attached, you can go back and just nail in little tiny nails to kind of give it a second secure, to make it secure. That's really what's important, okay? So for now, I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue just to hold this in place. Sorry, I'm just grabbing my hot glue. Just grabbing my hot glue gun. and I just want to make sure that, again, this is only going to hold it in place until I'm able to put some nails on the back. So you can run it across the top of your project or bottom, whichever it is. And then, I hope you can see this, and then attach it. Which way do I want it? That'll do right there. Just now make sure that, sorry, Alexa thought I said Alexa. Alexa off. I don't remember saying that word, but she heard me. So I'm going to just attach it just like that, making sure that I have just about the same amount on each side. There we go. Flip it around, do the same exact thing. Run the hot glue across the top or bottom, whichever it is. And again, ladies, this is just holding it in place until I can use the nail gun or hammer in some nails. Okay, here we go. There's our board, just like that. What do you think? I think that's pretty. Hi, Debbie. I don't want to go too fast, so if you guys are ready for me to move on, give me some hearts. I'll give it just a minute. Yay. Okay, so I think that's enough people that are ready to go. And again, make sure you know where the top of your project is as opposed to the bottom of your project. And this time, right now we're going to use a drill. I did use a 3/8 inch drill bit in my drill, okay? And because I'm not out, normally I do this out in the shop, in my husband's garage. But for, oh my goodness, the dog. Seriously, dogs and kids today. I think it's that old adage again. They only want you when you're busy. Crazy. Okay, so again, determine where the top is and where the bottom. You're going to drill some holes. And, oh my gosh, I apologize. I'm going to come over about an inch or so, and you can drill these wherever you want. I have some people that like to actually have the holes not drilled through here, but just through the furring strip area, and that's totally fine too. I personally like to come in about an inch from the edge of my board, and then right smack dab in the center. And again, this is a 3/8 inch drill bit. Because I'm not out in the shop, I'm going to be very, very careful, and I put the edge, where I'm going to be drilling over the edge of my island. I think if I drilled into my island, my husband would not be happy. But for purposes of the class today, I'm just letting you know it's hanging over about 3 inches over my island. So I'm just going to drill, and again, I'm just kind of eyeballing center about an inch. And I don't go super fast, I just kind of let it go. There we go. And yes, I just put that on the ground because I'm going to come back and I'm going to sweep that up later. So see? Right through, and it's about, like I said, it's about an inch or so off the edge of my board. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Make sure that when you're drilling that you press firmly so that it doesn't move. There we go. There we go, just like that. That's pretty. So I'm gonna make sure now that all the dust, all the sawdust is off my area, because when I go to do the chalking, I don't want to have any dust on my board. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to chalk. Cordless drills are the best. And Debbie, I promise you, I am very safe when it comes to all this stuff. I've been doing this for years and years, so I'm not too worried about, I really was about this far over the edge of my island. And I do drop all the sawdust or whatever, and I vacuum after there's sawdust and glitter all over my floor. I'm not even kidding you. So now that I have that done, I'm going to grab my transfer. And like I said, I am doing the Enjoy the Little Things transfer. And you can use whatever transfer you have or want. This is a very well used transfer. I store my transfers in these folio books. This is one of the smaller size books. And then I'm going to, if you worry about where you want to put it, grab your 10-inch ring and decide where it's going to lay. And you can kind of lay down your transfer, because I don't want it all the way to the top. And that's another thing. I don't want it centered. I kind of want it down a little further, closer to the bottom. I would say about 3/4 of an inch off of this bottom furring strip. There we go. Yep, that's perfect. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, how I have it. Just like that. So see, it's a little more at the top than at the bottom. Debbie, if you don't have a ring, you can also use heavy gauge wire and make a ring as thick as or as big as you want it. Use a plate as a reference, or just draw a 10-inch circle and use heavy gauge wire. Because the idea of this is that we are going to wrap. It's just for wrapping purposes. So if you have heavy gauged wire, you could do the same thing. Okay, so don't stress about that. That's what this was in the I did a live yesterday or the day before from Hobby Lobby. These were in the macrame and leather working areas of Hobby Lobby, and I think they were also available at Michael's. So don't stress. If you don't have it, you can use heavy gauge wire. Awesome. Good job. Oh, because Debbie, you already did one of these too, right? That's awesome. Oh, Sarah Jean, great idea. Sarah Jean just said, or a wire hanger. That is perfect. I don't have very many wire hangers, but that's a great idea, that if you do have some wire or a wire hanger, those are perfect. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to grab my stuff for my chalking, and I've decided to do this in the elephant gray and purple, just for the heck of it. I love those. I love purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors. So I did lay this down, and I kind of felt that there's no bubbles in it, just with my hand. I didn't really wax it because I've used this transfer so much. If you feel like your transfer is too new and you're going to pull up the paper, you might want to just run some wax on a rag. Not a ton of wax, but just like the residue. I've shown that before, how I just run residue a residued rag over it, and then it's not so that the chalk will adhere because paper's porous. It's so that your transfer doesn't stick. Okay, so I'm just going to run this. I'm not making sure that it's like super, super down. I'm not running this really hard over it. I'm just trying to get all the bubbles out. And if you notice, I generally start from the center and work my way out. There we go. All right, and I have two squeegees. I'm going to determine which ones, the things I'm going to put in purple, enjoy the little, is going to be in gray. Okay, so I want to make sure that both of my chalk pastes are ready to go. Your chalk paste should be about the consistency of yogurt. This one's a little dry, so I'm going to use my mister bottle, and I'm just going to squirt a few squirts in here, and then put that to the side. And then I have my little makeup spatula. These are awesome. This is the brand. I got those on Amazon. And I just want to make sure, oh, there we go. I haven't used purple in a while, so I want to make sure that it's really stirred up. And if you have to use a little more water, go ahead and do that too. It's better to use a little and then keep adding instead of making it too thin. So I'm going to squirt a couple more in here. And also, I'm really excited. I'm gonna post a picture of my finished project on the page, and I would love to see everybody's projects. It'll be so awesome to see what everybody's done. This is the first time I've ever done a virtual class, really. I used to teach, well, I do teach craft classes around me, but I used to travel a lot and do scrapbooking classes where I would teach scrapbooking and mixed media classes a long time ago, and that was so fun. So I love the opportunity that I have now to reach a lot of people all over the United States. So it'll be fun to see what everybody has done with this project. So this one's ready to go. I'm going to do the same thing with the gray, and it's a little thick as well. Again, you want the consistency about yogurt. Oh, a wood hoop too would work. Yes, Julie, thank you. I didn't use a wood hoop just for the simple fact that it was really thick, like wide. And I saw the wire ones and I was like, oh, hey, that's cool. Renee, yes, I do. I have some on hand. She is more than welcome to contact me. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm really close. I'm really close to Lake Elsinore. I'm just the next town over. I live in Wildemar, and that is in California, in Southern California. Not very many people know where Wildemar is. Oh, well, thank you, Sarah Jean, and I appreciate the comments too, though. Okay, so I don't want the chalk paste to dry quickly. So what I'm going to do is, as I'm going to lift my transfer as I go. So I'm going to start with the gray, and I'm just going to wipe this on. And again, it's just like buttering bread. You want to make sure that the chalk paste gets into the screened areas. Now, one thing when you're working with paper, you can't really, you can try, but you can't really get the chalk paste off of the paper. So try not to make too many mistakes as far as this is concerned. I'm going to do this top part of the things really quick so I can bring it up. So I'm going to just start bringing this transfer up as I go, so it doesn't dry. drag off any of the excess. And as soon as I'm done with this, I promise you I'll show you what it looks like. Sorry. Okay, I'm just going to pull this up just a little bit. Get all this purple done. Shh. Goodness sakes, people. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the last little bit of the gray on that little. All right. Make sure you get the chalk paste in all the little screened areas. All right, there we go. Oh, this is so amazing. Okay, before I pull this up, I did miss one little tiny area. And so I'm going to push that down. I didn't pull it up all the way, so I can get it. Let's see. Can I give this? Thank you. Ah, so pretty, amazing. Look at that. What do you think? I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit for just a second. I'm gonna wipe off my squeegees. And then when you're using chalk paste, you want to make sure that you are scraping the edges so you don't have a lot of buildup around the edges. Also, something my adorable husband said, before you close up your chalk paste, just give it a good squirt and then put your lid on. That way, it's not as dry the next time you go to use it. Oh, yay! Hi, Samantha. I'm so glad you could watch, honey. Okay, so Renee, you know, we used to live in Marietta as well. We lived in Marietta for, what, 10, 12 years. My boys all graduated from Marietta Valley High School. So if you're from Marietta, you know exactly where that's at. So again, I'm just scraping the edges to make sure that it doesn't clump up. And then I'm going to just squirt and then put the lid back on. Kurt's pretty awesome when it comes to, pretty handy when it comes to these tips. I'm gonna grab my wipes. It's always good to have the disinfectant wipes around when you're working with chalk paste, especially when you get it on your hands. You don't, and that's the one thing, I don't want to get this on my hands or on my project anywhere else. So I'm going to make sure that I wipe my hands off with the Oh, Renee, is your last name your married name or your maiden name? My boys graduated in 2011, 12, 13, and 15. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to put my little doohickeys all over here, and I'll wash that off later. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. Isn't it pretty? It's already pretty. Oh, you're so cute. I thought that was your last name. You're so cute. So, my boys graduated in 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2015. Yes, for a little while there, I was a little crazy. It's okay. I love my boys, and I wouldn't have it any other way. My daughter-in-law graduated from Vista in, I think, 2008, I think. That's when she graduated. Okay, so you graduated a little early. That's awesome. All All right, so so now we're gonna make the wreath part, this part right here, okay? So I'm just gonna take this little sprig of flowers, and mine has like purple and off-white in it, and I really like it. So I'm gonna use, now you can use floral tape or ribbon or whatever. And I think I told everybody on the event page that I just had, again, use what you have. And I had purchased a bunch of this burlap ribbon a while back. And I just wanted to use it, and I liked the look of it. And it kind of matched the green anyway. So, it's Kurt's fault. Oh, it's Kurt's fault that my kids graduated so close together. I don't know. So I'm just going to start. I started by just kind of bending this a little bit to make it work so that it will work a little easier. So Renee, if you grew up in Murrieta, where do you live now? Where is it that you live now? All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna start wrapping. And there's no technical terms for this at all. I just started wrapping. The nice part about this ribbon is it has wired edges, and I just started wrapping the ribbon around, and it's nice because it kind of stays. Oh, we love Utah. We love Utah. My son, okay, so my son, there. Barbara, just, you know, and that's another thing too. I'm trying to go slow so that if I'm going too fast, let me know. I don't want to go ahead. Barbara, if you just want to put your transfer in water to soak, I always recommend that you put it in like a tray of water, like a cookie sheet or something. But I have a big farm sink, so well, you've seen my farm sink. I have a big farm sink right here, and I just normally have like about this much water sitting in it, and I just sit my transfers in there until I am done. So, but Renee, I love Layton. My son, a lot of people know this, but my son Corey, who's standing right here, he served a mission for our church in Utah, and he served in Salt Lake, so south of Layton, right, honey? Oh, Layton is North Salt Lake County. Okay, so again, I'm just going to start wrapping, and this just covers up the ring and the green of this. If you can use any ribbon, you can even use purple ribbon, I don't care. You can use different color ribbon. You can use tape, floral tape. I just didn't like the look of the floral tape. So, and excuse the loudness, my husband's making dinner because I'm teaching a class.
We have amazing rolls.
We do have amazing rolls. You know what? I have to be honest though, he's a much better cook than I am. I like to bake and I like to make desserts. So we were just having this conversation earlier.
Speaking of desserts, what's for dessert?
I don't know. I'll have to make a dessert later. I think brownies. I think I'm going to make brownies tonight.
No.
Oh, Renee, that's so awesome. Okay, good job, Barbara. Okay, so again, I'm just wrapping, and let me show you what it looks like. You can see I'm just wrapping. There's really no technique to this except to wrap it around the ring and this floral stem. So So this is probably the longest part of the whole project, is just wrapping. Give yourself some room. Well, Washington is beautiful too, Renee. I love Washington. We have a lot of friends that have moved actually from California to Washington. In fact, my other friend Renee, I just saw, she's on here. She's from Oak Harbor in Washington. And Jenny, I think Jenny's on too. Hey, Kristen, how are you, honey? The one thing I will say about this is you need to pull it tight so that it stays in place. So make sure you're pulling as you go, pulling nice and tight as you go. Oh my goodness. So you were in Oak Harbor. That's so funny. That is a small world. And my friend's name is Renee, like I said. We're stationed. Oh, Wiggly Island. Yes, that's exactly where she lives. Super excited to go up there too and see her. Cramp, finger cramp. And again, it's really crucial to get this pulled as tight as you possibly can. Another thing to note, which I didn't before, where we start right here, it doesn't, sorry, allergies, sorry, it doesn't have to look beautiful because we're gonna cover it. This will end up being where we hang it at the top, just an FYI. So I'm actually gonna be tying it and probably put a little glue to hold it, but I'll tie it off right here to keep it together. Just so, I know people are like, oh my gosh, it doesn't look beautiful. It doesn't have to. This, where we started, is where we're gonna hang it with the other ribbon that we have. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna kind of let this loose because I need it to unravel a little bit and untangle. I have never been to Oak Harbor. I've been to Port Townsend, where another friend of mine lives. And I really love that whole area. It is absolutely gorgeous up there. But on days like today, I know it's snowing up there. And it's a beautiful, balmy 70 degrees or something like that here in California.
No, it's not.
Oh, what is it, 60?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Coming in.
Sorry, we do have a storm
snow.
coming.
We're going to get snow tonight.
We're not going to get snow tonight. Don't listen to him.
In our local mountains.
Oh, sorry. He said in our local mountains we're getting snow. So we'll probably get a little bit of a sprinkling of rain.
Yes.
Maybe.
And then come Wednesday, it'll be back up to 73 degrees.
Welcome to the California winter. Again, this doesn't look very attractive, me like wrapping the ring, but like I said, this is the part that takes the longest.
Almost done.
Sorry, he's making noise. Yes, Big Bear's gonna get some. That is exactly what we were just saying. It'll be pretty in our local mountains. That tells you how hard, how tight I'm pulling this. Is I'm getting a cramp in my thumb.
All right.
Thank you, hon.
You're welcome for putting up with my noise.
It's all good. We're making Sunday dinner. Oh wow, Debbie, that's going to be actually warm for you. 60 degrees. So now when you start getting into where the little sprigs of the floral piece, I want to go in between and wrap. I don't know, can you see that? Oops, sorry. I'm going to go in between and wrap. So I'm going to go all the way up to here and then pull this aside and then wrap until I get to the next piece. I'll show you. I'm just going to sit here and wrap. And if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. Like I said, I will make sure when I have this all finished, I will put a picture of the finished product or project. And then if you will take a picture of what you have made, I would love it if you would put it in the comments. That will be awesome to see what everybody comes up with. Because everybody's going to have different paper, different embellishments. You don't have to do it identical to what I've done. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. I'm coming right up to where this is at. I'm going to wrap it one more time around. Wrap it one more time, and then I'm going to bring this forward. Make sure I get all the little pieces forward, and I'm going to come up and around, just like that. There you go, see? So I don't wrap it around this and make it all smushed. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to kind of keep this forward and then continue wrapping. So I get to the next one, and then I'm going to pull those flowers forward, just like that. See how I've got it? And then I'm going to wrap around those. And then continue wrapping until I get to the next set. Oh, you know what? I really didn't get to see how the bride and groom felt about their gift, but a lot of the people that saw it were like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. We're talking about the live that I did last night of the sign that I made. We got there and there was just about an hour left of the reception, but it was so nice. I'd seen some friends I hadn't seen in a while, and so everybody that saw the sign really liked it, and they said, well, where'd you get that? And I said, well, I made it. So that was kind of fun to tell them that I made that. So all right, so here we are. All the area. Sorry, man, my nose is itchy. So you can see how I have gone through, and then once I'm ready, I will push this all back up, and you'll see. So I'm going to continue wrapping the ring with the ribbon. You know, that's so funny, Debbie, that you say that about Michigan. It's probably because of where you guys are on the water, where we're kind of hit and miss as well. We might get an onshore flow, and it's, you know, if it's coming up from Baja California, then it's, you know, warm, or if it's coming up from like Washington area, then we get it cold. So it just really depends on where our storm is coming from. With it going to be, I honestly don't know where this storm is coming from. So, but it's supposed to get warm again. So I'm thinking it might be coming up from Baja. And again, I'm just trying to do it as tight as I possibly can. Now, another thing too is if you wanted to add more than just one of these, you could make the whole thing. Like I could have started another. I did get two pieces so that if I wanted to keep going around, I could have, but I don't want to do that. It's all up to you. There's no wrong or right. This is yours, and it's going to be in your house, so you do it how you want it. How's everybody doing? Oh, you guys are funny. Celia, you're so cute. Sarah, you know what? I really love doing the lives. Like I said, I used to teach scrapbooking classes, and I teach photography. For those who don't know this, I'm a photographer, and I have been for 23 years, and I teach some like private lesson photography classes, and I've taught scrapbooking classes in the past, and I teach crafting classes, always on that crafty, always on the crafting or the artistic stuff. So for me, the lives is just a way to get information out to more people. And it's not terribly difficult, just because the only thing is sometimes I find it hard talking about stuff, and I know that might bug people, but I feel weird if I'm not talking. So when I'm with people, I think I talk less to a class, but I find it weird because not talking on a live, just because it's so quiet. I don't have students in front of me asking questions, so that's why I love it when. That's why I love it when you ask questions on my lives. So, Renee, oh, that's a bummer. Well, I'm glad that you're a Couture designer, but we have an amazing team. I love my team. And Sarah and Debbie, and I saw some more. Julie I saw on here. Renee is on here. All these girls are on my team. I love them. They're awesome. All right, I'm almost to the end. How's everybody doing? Did you finish before me? Oh, Elaine, you're so sweet. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad. I love Instagram. I have a Instagram for my photography page, and I guess maybe I'm just drawn to the whole aspect of pictures and stuff. So I'm glad that you found me through Instagram, Renee. And Elaine, of course, I love teaching. So I did not know you found, Debbie, I didn't know you found me through Instagram. I did not know that. Oh, Sarah, you're so sweet. Okay, so I am going to take a little bit of hot glue right here, and just because this is where I started, I just want to put a little dab of hot glue. Just be careful. Oh, lives. Oh, you found me through lives. Okay. I'm like, I didn't know you found me on Instagram. Be careful and don't burn yourself. I'm just going to put that out there because if you know me, I have a few scars from hot glue. It won't be the first time. But I just want to make sure that it stays in place and it doesn't unravel. That's really important. So I am going to go over where I started, just a couple of turns of the ribbon. All right. Now I'm going to cut off a length of ribbon. Okay. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just going to wrap it around once and make like I'm going to kind of go back through and make a knot. Just pull it tight. See that? And that finishes it off. So the glue, I put the glue underneath here. So there I go. So that will hold it, and then I just slip it through, just like that. Okay? So what I'm going to do with this part, I'm just going to fold it back. It has wire on it. So, and then when I'm done and ready to have everything done, I can fluff it out and do whatever else I want to it. Oh, hi, Steph. The floral I got at Hobby Lobby, and it's the kind, I'm going to show you really fast. It's the kind that has the paper. It's not plastic, and it's wired so you can bend it. Okay. All right. Whew. My husband's cooking in here, and so it's nice and warm, so I'm already having hot flashes, and now he's got me hot in here because the oven's on. All right, so now I'm going to bring back, look how pretty that, oh, look how pretty that's going to be. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That's going to be really beautiful. You're very welcome, hon. All right, so couple things. We're going to take, and again, I'm using things I have, and if you've been following me long enough, you know I started preaching this like the latter part of last year. Use what you have. And I picked this ribbon up on sale, probably at Hobby Lobby. I think it's a Hobby Lobby ribbon. It was Christmas ribbon, but I think I purchased it in October because I used it on a like a scarecrow thing. So I'm using what I have. All right. So is everybody done? Because I don't want to go on until you're ready. So give me some thumbs up or some hearts and let me know you're ready to go. I'm just going to sit this there so you can see all the beautifulness. Fix that. Sorry. Yeah, I really try. Hi, Joyce. I really try to use as much stuff as I possibly can of what I've got, just because I want to buy more stuff, but I can't pull unless it's on sale. But then everything's always on sale. All right. If you feel the need, like you think it's gonna come undone, add another little drop of glue. Which I think I might do that really quick, right behind that knot, just so it's not going to go. And you could use, again, you don't have to use hot glue. You can use like the Gorilla Super Glue or whatever, the E6000 if you had to, whatever. And then I just wrap it around, so I'm not going to burn my fingers. That's honestly, I'm using it so I don't burn my fingers. Okay, I'm just going to trim this off. And it has wire, so just wrap it until you don't have any more. And this is going to be where we attach it to the top. Oh, so I went over to Hobby Lobby the other day, And I went in, I told my husband, I'm specifically going in for this. I was just going to go in for the ring because I thought I had an extra ring and I didn't. I bought a few more things. So, anyway, that clearance section that gets me every time. All right, so I'm just going to sit my hoop, and I should have just a little tiny bit that overlaps the top and bottom of my furring strips, just like this. I know this is upside down, but this is kind of what I wanted you to see. And I'm going to cut a length. It doesn't take very much of this stuff. Honestly, I added this as a last minute thing just to cover this. That's it. But it worked. All right, so I'm just gonna, I think it's less than a foot. I think it's more like 10 inches that I cut. And we'll trim off what we don't use. So it's about the width of, yeah, it's about 12 inches, about 10 to 12 inches of ribbon. Put that to side. And then I'm going to slip the ribbon loop over. Now, again, I love my little hot glue stuff. I'm going to put just a dab right behind here where it won't show. It's not going to show. So I'm just going to put a little dab of hot glue. Be careful and do not burn yourself. Yes, I'm reminding myself, don't burn yourself. So that'll hold that in place. Lay this down where you're going to want it. I'm going to now lift this up and put another dab of glue on the furring strip to hold it in place. I'm going to give it a second, let it dry. I'm glad to see some people coming back. I know it's kind of a hard time for everybody. I know some places around the country it's dinner time. So I will definitely keep this. Now I also want to put a little, again, if you want to add this later, you can use E6000. But I'm just going to, for now, going to use just a little drop of glue, a little drop of hot glue right under here to hold it in place. So I'm just going to let it dry. And I'm using hot glue because I don't have time to let E6000 dry. It takes too long during a class, like a class situation like this. So if you have more time and you want to use E6000, it's really great. Or you can use, like I said, you can use like Gorilla Glue or something like that. Okay. Now I'm going to flip this over. This should be dry. I'm going to flip this over. Excuse me. To the back side here. And I'm going to run a little bit of glue, hot glue right here on the top. Anywhere I think my ribbon's going to touch, I'm going to just run a little bit of glue. Because there's 2 layers of the ribbon, you want to lay the first one down and then put some more glue so that second layer will also lay down. And again, I'm just using hot glue because of the time crunch of doing a virtual class. If I had more time, I would probably use E6000. Hey Terry, I see you on here too. So I've got that. Now, once this is all dry back here, I'm going to trim this up so this it doesn't look, I don't know, I just don't like it like that, so I'm going to make sure that I trim that up. All right, so this is what we have so far. Very nice and pretty. Look at that. I love that. And, you know, I keep saying that, oh, I got this at Hobby Lobby. I got this at Hobby Lobby. And the only reason I got it stuff at Hobby Lobby, I could probably find the same exact stuff at Michael's or Joann's or other hobby stores. I just happened to be in Hobby Lobby when I came up with the idea for some of this stuff. Not even kidding. All right, I'm just going to get rid of all, I don't like the little leftover glue stuff. All right. So, I'm going to let that sit for just a second. Now, what I use to hang, what we're going to, now this is the final thing that we're going to do. We're going to cut this stuff to make the hanger part, is this grapevine on a wire. Grapevine on a wire. I love this stuff right here. And I'm going to feed it through the back of the project. Now the hole that I used again is a 3/8 inch drill bit. I'm going to feed it through just like this. And you can take a pen, you can take a dowel, whatever you want. And I just happen to have a pen sitting right next to me. So I'm just going to take this and I am going to roll the wire. You can, but if you don't have wired stuff, like I know there's wired jute, you can use wired jute. You can use unwired jute if you want. You can use ribbon. It really doesn't matter. I just love using the wired grapevine. I love that. So this is what I use. You can use whatever you want. It's your house. The grapevine wire is actually, sorry, my gosh, my nose. The grapevine wire is in the floral section. Right next to where you find the floral sprays, there's like the floral tape and all that, and the grapevine is in there as well. So you're just going to figure out what length you want to cut this, and then I'm just going to cut it. These are heavy duty scissors. If you have like crafting or fabric scissors, don't use those. These are just heavy duty all-purpose scissors. You can use wire cutters, whatever you like. And again, I'm just going to feed this one in the back. Another thing that I have done is I've in the past I've even like put this around and made it kind of like swirly too. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to do that, but that kind of is cute too. Again, this is your project. You can do whatever it is you'd like. That's cute. So now I'm gonna run, racing stuff. I'm going to curl this last piece. And this is kind of fraying, so I'm going to trim. I'm going to trim one off. There we go. And then I'm going to fluff this how I want it. I want to bring it back a little bit this way. You can add more florals if you like. You don't have to. But other than that, I'm done. Ta-da! Isn't that beautiful? I like it. Do not use fabric scissors. I can't tell you how many times my My scrapbooking scissors, the very expensive scrapbooking scissors, have been used. And I'm looking at my husband as I say that. Have been ruined. You know, and the fabric scissors are extremely expensive, as well as the crafting scissors as well. I might even take a little bit of this just to kind of balance it over here and just tie a piece of ribbon over on the other side. Again, you can do whatever you want because this is your project. You can make it look different each time. Just get different paper. And again, the paper should be the kind that is paper and not cardstock, just because it with the cardstock, it doesn't adhere as well as the paper. The map paper that I used before was on a roll, and actually it's on sale right now at Hobby Lobby. I just happened to see that, so I think it was like $1.50 a roll or something crazy like that. That's even cuter. Look at that. There we go. Ta-da! With the cute little bow twisted right there. Okay, so I'm going to post this, and if you make one, I would love, love, love to see your finished project. And again, I'm going to finish the next month's virtual class and I will post it. I think that I'm trying to remember I was going to try to do like the third Sunday of every month. I'm not sure I'm going to do it on that because that's my birthday weekend, and my sister and my husband and my daughter-in-law and my best friend, they're having a birthday party for me. So not on that day, but that weekend. So we're going to have a lot of family in. So maybe like the last, we'll do it another day in March. So I would love to do more of these virtual classes. If you like this, make sure you love, like, and share. And if you do hold a class, if you're a designer and you decide to hold a class, tag me. I would love to give you some love. If you're teaching this class, because it makes my heart happy to see other people make the projects that I come up with. So anyway, again, you guys, I know, right? It just kind of comes to me sometimes. I don't know why. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for my very first live virtual class. Although it's similar to my lives, I was just grateful that everybody was able to follow along with me tonight, and that makes me super happy. Again, I'll post this in just a little bit, and I would love to see what you come up with, okay? So this has been Tarina with Create with Tree, that's me, and I will see you next time.